How many times have Republicans won each state for governor since 2000? That's what we're going to find out today. I've already done this for the Dems. Take a look at that video if you'd like. Today it's for the GOP. So at the top, I've got 10 tiers of shading going from 0 all the way up to 9. That's the max. In New Hampshire and Vermont, those two states have governor's elections every 2 years, so there's more opportunities. But all the other states were every 4 years, many of them starting in 2002, but some of them do go back to 2000. And that's going to be the cutoff. There's also some special elections or recalls. We're going to go by the party affiliation of the winner at the time of those elections. So where do you think the Republicans are the most dominant for the state's highest office? Let's dive in here. We'll start at the top. We've got 9 times. We've got just one state. And for some people, this could be the biggest shock on here because that state is Vermont, and that is a blue state. But the reason Republicans have 9 wins here is, again, there's only 2-year terms here for governor. Plus, you've got Phil Scott. He's an electoral juggernaut. He wins every time by landslides. So he's a big factor for why this is the state that Republicans have the most wins for governor out of any state since 2000. Now let's go down to 8 times. We've got one state here, and it's a super red one. It's Utah. Now that also includes one special election win. Next, we've got 7 times. One more state this time. It's North Dakota. Republicans here shut out the Dems 7-0. Now let's do the next tier, 6 times. First, let's get the other state with 2-year terms out of the way. That's New Hampshire. The Republicans do have a notable 6 wins here over the past 25 years. The Dems do have 7, so it's close. The next state is Indiana. Republicans going 6-1 in the Hoosier state. The rest of these are all 6-0 shutouts. We've got Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Mississippi, Nebraska, South Carolina, South Dakota, and Texas. Most of those pretty red states, no surprises. Now let's do the states that have 5 wins for the GOP. First, we've got Alaska. It's 5 wins for the Republicans. Dems have 0. There was also one candidate that had an independent win, so that means neither of the two parties could claim it. Next, a couple of states where the Republicans went 5-1. We've got Ohio and Nevada. Nevada, not a super red state, but Republicans have a lot of success for governor there. Now let's go to the 4-win states. First, we've got a close one here. Republicans have 4 wins to the Democrats' 3 in the former presidential bellwether state of Missouri. After that, Republicans going 4-2 in Arkansas, Iowa, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Wyoming. Next, we've got states with 3 wins for the Republicans. We've got Montana, then it's Wisconsin, and that includes 1 recall win. Then we've got 4 states where Republicans were 3-3. It's Arizona, Louisiana, Maryland, and Massachusetts. Those last 2 states, very, very blue, but Republicans, again, they've had success in some of these counterintuitive states. Next, the states where Republicans have just 2 wins. First, we've got Rhode Island, then it's neighboring Connecticut, then we've got Hawaii. The next state is Kansas, then Kentucky, then Maine, Michigan, Minnesota. On the East Coast, we've got New Jersey. In the Southwest, it's New Mexico. Back on the East Coast, it's Virginia. Then on the West Coast, we've got California, and that includes 1 recall win. That was when Schwarzenegger pulled it off. The last state here is also 2 Republican wins, but it's the opposite of California. It's West Virginia. It's extremely red, but the Dems here have more wins than the Republicans. Now it's going to get real scarce. The states where Republicans have 1 win since 2000. First, it's Colorado. Then in the Midwest, it's Illinois. Back on the East Coast, New York, neighboring Pennsylvania. Finally, in the Sun Belt, it's North Carolina, where the Republicans have won 1 time out of 7 attempts. And that leaves 3 states where Republicans have come up completely dry since 2000. First, in the Northwest, we've got Washington and Oregon. The last state is the first state. It's Delaware. Those states, it's 7 chances, 0 wins for the Republicans. Oregon also includes 1 special. So that's what we've got for the map. Republicans completely dominant in the Southeast, in Texas, Utah, even the Northeast, Vermont and New Hampshire, the Upper Great Plains, and Indiana and Alaska. After that, it completely drops off. Republicans kind of dry in the rest of the country. They're unexpectedly weak in deep red states like Louisiana, Kansas, Kentucky, and West Virginia. But they're way stronger than you might think in blue states like Maryland and Massachusetts. Even in Hawaii, one of the states where Democrats completely dominate, Republicans have pulled off 2 wins here for governor. So they've got at least 1 win across almost every state, including a lot of deep blue ones. But they do balance it out with some disappointing performances in other red states. Just like the map with the Democrats, it really goes to show you that the minority political party has a much better chance at having success here than for a federal office like Senate or President. So both sides have their strengths and weaknesses in different states. Both have also had some unexpected luck, but This is the map for how many times Republicans have won each state for governor since 2000. So let me know in the comments which 3 or 4 states jump out to you the most. Maybe it's West Virginia, Republicans, very little success there. Maybe it's Hawaii or Maryland, where they've actually had more success than you might think. Plenty of stuff to look at here. Let me know what you're thinking about down below on your way out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to help support the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.